over yet, that would be something I might perform before stretching. I'm going to start with stretching, then I'm going to move into motor control, then dynamic warm-up. So we're going to start with a quick stretch, which would be the hip flexor stretch in the half kneeling position. I'm going to focus on this back hip flexor as I squeeze this back glute into extension. As I hinge forward, I'm going to be stretching that muscle even further on my exhale. So I'm going to exhale forward, inhale on the way up, exhale forward. If I need a pad for the back knee, that's fine, and curl the back toe into the ground here. I'm going to go for 5 to 8 rocks. It might help if you have 2 dowels to hold on to, or a bench or a wall in front of you if you have trouble getting into this position. Switching side. Okay, we're going to move to the neck. I'm just going to do a heel sit, so tuck the toes, sit down on my heels, bending my knees. I'm going to bring my head down and then look all the way up, all the way down, and up, down, and up. And then side to side, so I'm going to look over my right shoulder, trying to get my chin over my shoulder. Back to the middle, to the left, to the right, left, right, left, and right. Trying not to move anything but the neck there. Then quadruped flexion and extension of the trunk. So I'm going to flex my back, tuck my chin, around my upper back. Push the ground away with my hands and my feet, trying to separate the ground, create some more tension. Big exhales here. Inhale into the side of the body and the back. Big exhale through the mouth. Then from here, we're gonna tilt the hips, bring the belly down, and then look up. So the hips are high, belly's down, head is up. We're in spinal extension here. Breathe into that. Then from here, round the back. And go back to your kneeling position. From here, we're gonna move into a Adductor Rock. So I'm going to go in the hands and knees position, abduct one leg. This foot should be in line with the front knee. I'm going to point my back toe, and then I'm going to keep my back straight as I lean back, and I should feel a stretch in both adductors in this position, okay? I'm going to exhale as I lean back. And then I'm going to switch side. If you do it right, you should feel both adductors, short lever stance and long lever stance. You can use a pad for the knee if that's too much. You want to make sure that knee is straight and that toe is facing forward. Back is straight, back toe is pointed here. So that would be the Adductor Rock. Next, Spider-Man stretch. So going in a push-up position, and then slowly stepping one foot outside of the hand, pressing the elbow, hand, and shoulder into the leg, and rocking outside. You should feel this in your adductors again. So if that last stretch didn't work for you, this one might be a little bit better. And then from here, we're going to squeeze that back glute to try to get deeper into extension, so really straightening out that back leg. and then relaxing. Squeeze that back glute, and then relax. Switching side, straighten that back knee, control it back, step, hand in the foot, wrist into the ankle, shoulder into the knee, rocking to the outside of that hip. Feeling this in our adductors, just like we're in a deep squat position. And then from here, squeezing that back glute, feeling it in my back hip flexor, holding it for about 6 seconds and then relaxing. Good. Then from here, I'm going to step back to my hands and knees position, move into a rotation of the spine. So I'm going to collapse down, bring my elbows down in front of my knees, wrap one hand across the chest. I'm going to look up at the ceiling, and then I'm going to rotate my body in that direction. Hold here, inhale through the nose, and then long exhale. As I exhale, I try to keep rotating. Inhale into your new position, hold there, and exhale, try to find more rotation. From here, hand behind the head. If possible, try not to push the head forward. And then switching side. Make sure that you follow the eyes. The body will follow the eyes, so make sure that you look up toward the ceiling and not in front of you. I might do about 3 inhales, 3 exhales for both, hand across the chest and then hand behind the head. Okay, then child pose position, knees are wide, fists, forehead down, pressing those fists into the ground, hold here, inhale and exhale, and you can bend the elbows, and then lift one fist off the ground and hold, and then switch. And then switch, and then switch. Okay. Now we're going to move into some standing exercises, starting with a standing ankle mobility rock. I'm going to push my hands into a barrier, put my weight into the front foot, using the back foot for support, keeping that front heel down as I rock the knee over the toe. Okay, you can measure your distance, assess yourself from the knee to the barrier, then back up, and then over time, try to get a little bit deeper. What we're exhaling as we rock forward, pushing into the barrier, keeping that front heel down. Okay, if you want to get into that end range position, perform some contractions, you can do that as well. So if I wanted to, I could push my toes down in this terminal end range, or I could pull my toe up toward my shin to try to get deeper into the stretch. All while pressing into the barrier and while keeping that front heel down and making sure that I'm not doing anything that causes any pain. Okay, so that would be the ankle. Now I'm going to get dynamic hip flexor and glute, going into half kneeling. I'm just going to, like I'm going on an elevator, straight up. On an exhale, tap the back knee down to a pad or the ground. Exhale on the way up. And then switching side. And then moving toward a lateral squat. Feet are wide. Gonna reach forward as I squat into one hip or one knee. Try not to lean to that side too much. Keep your center of gravity in line. So we're not trying to rotate or move laterally, it's just moving to the side, bring the arms forward. And then switching side. Okay, there's my lateral squat, my split squat. Okay, now I'm gonna move actually into some motor control. I'm gonna go on my back, perform some floor slides. So, I'm gonna bend my elbows to make a W. My back will be flat. I'm gonna tuck my pelvis by squeezing my glutes. Press those feet into the ground. Back is flat. Chin is tucked in here. I'm gonna exhale as I reach overhead without using my lower back. And inhale on the way down. Exhale up. Inhale down. Don't let the back come off the ground. Squeeze the glutes if you need to. Squeeze the fists if you need to. Exhale on the way up. Inhale on the way down. Trying to keep the elbow, forearm, and shoulder in contact with the ground the whole time. When you exhale, try to bring those ribs down too. So don't let those ribs flare. Okay, you can also cross your legs and do that against the wall to progress that exercise. You can also perform some shoulder articular rotations by creating stiffness in the whole body, raising the shoulder, reaching back without rotating the thoracic body, and then reaching back and around and up and across, switching side. Control articular rotations with the shoulder without compensating and using other parts of your body. Okay. All right, so we've completed most of the dynamic warm-up. Now we're gonna get into more of an active warm-up, or still dynamic warm-up. We went into, stretching and then motor control. Now we're getting into dynamic warm-up. So first one I'm gonna go is a walking single leg deadlift. So I'm gonna step with my left, reach with my right hand. My right leg is back behind my left arm is out like an airplane. Okay, I'm gonna try to keep my head in line with my hip and my heel, and then hinge on the way down and then stand all the way up. I'm gonna do this while I'm walking forward. So I'm gonna step, reach, step, reach, step, reach, step, reach. Trying to get about 3 or 4 on each side. If you need to pause it, go ahead. Trying to keep that back toe down. Don't let that hip open up. Good. Okay, now we're going to add a pogo bounce. So I'm going to jump quickly forward. So I'm going to have buoyant landings. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to have short, quick landings and jumping. And then I'm going to do that side to side. And switch. Okay. I'm going to perform a skip now. I'll start with marching in place. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Really use those arms. Skip in place. Okay. Alright, now we're going to move to our karaoke or side shuffle. Starting with a side shuffle, getting low. Pushing off the hip on the opposite side. So if I'm going to the left, I'm pushing with the right. I'm going to the right, I'm pushing to the left, with the left. Okay, that's my side shuffle. Karaoke, cross over, cross behind, rotating the hips. Alright, so your heart rate should be getting a little higher. Adding in maybe some backward runs, starting with wide feet, bent knees, looking straight ahead. Then slowly going narrower as you move back. Then you can start with a narrow stance, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, opposite arm forward, and then shuffle back. Taller position, narrow feet, 1 foot forward, and do about 2 on each side. Don't need a lot of room, but it's good to do those back pedals. Back pedaling, really good to save you if you have to do it one day, right? All right, now we've basically completed our dynamic warm-up, showed you some stretches and some motor control. Hope you enjoyed it. Now it's time to perform your power portion of the workout, then your strength portion, then end it with your conditioning.